Deer tenderloin or backstrap is probably the most delicious part out of the deer as far as I'm concerned. If you like tenderloin like I do, but you're looking for something just a little bit different to do with it and you've ever thought about smoking one, well, you've come to the right place. We're going to smoke some tenderloin tomorrow, so stick around and we'll show you what we do as just a common man, answer some very common questions. So as you can see, we've got a couple back straps pulled out here, and it's obvious this wasn't a very big deer because it's pretty small tenderloin here. But anyway, it won't take long on the smoker. We don't want to overcook them. You can tell they're not very big, so we'll just get them on long enough to get a good smoke flavor into them. But tonight, we're going to do these ahead of time and then just keep them in the refrigerator. So I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil to give it something to stick to. And then we'll do that on both sides. And again, as we've said, and I'm sure if you're familiar with cooking wild game, you know you want to get all of that silver skin off. And you can see there's a little bit left on here, but I have already taken most of that off. You want to get that silver skin off since that's where a lot of that gamey taste comes from. So for this, we're just going to use a salt, pepper, garlic mix that I have put together here. So this is just like 3 parts salt, 2 parts black pepper, and 1 part garlic powder. So nothing fancy about it, but we use it kind of like an all-purpose rub on just about everything. So go ahead and give it a good coating. And then again, you're going to do that on both sides of the tenderloin. And I know some people will refer to this simply as backstrap. This is what came off of the back. A lot of people call the tenderloin just that part that comes from inside the rib cage there. We always called it the fish when I was growing up. So the tenderloin was always the backstrap and the fish was the inner part. So either way, you know what we got going on here. And I'm gonna try this garlic jalapeno rub by Weber. And actually, this is the first time we've used it. I didn't even open it up ahead of time, but I've been dying to give it a shot. So we're gonna see how this turns out. So again, with any rub that you use, I've said this before in other videos, you know, take what we do and use whatever bits and pieces of it you like. Whatever you don't like that we do, make it your own. I just try to test things out and then tell you how it works out for us, and hopefully that helps you. We do all the legwork and you reap the benefits, so it's a pretty good gig. But give it a good coating of whatever kind of rub or seasoning it is that you want to use. And then, like I said, we're just going to cover this. We're going to set it in the refrigerator overnight. And then we've got a couple things we're going to put on the smoker tomorrow along with these tenderloin. So you can see that's all there is to it. Get them seasoned up. We'll rub the sides and the whatever's left here on our cutting board, and we'll put these in a container and get them refrigerated overnight, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow and show you how we finish them up. Okay, we're ready to get our tenderloin put on the smoker here, and we've been running this thing all morning so far, doing some different things. As I've said, I've got some other deer venison dishes that we're working on, so if you haven't seen those yet, go back, check them out. Let me know what you think of all of them. The tenderloin you saw last night whenever I was seasoning them up, they are not really that big, so I don't feel like they're going to take too long. I don't want to dry them out, so I'm only going to leave them on here for a few hours, get them up to, you know, maybe 140 degrees is probably about as far as I want to go on the internal temp on the tenderloin. So we're going to get them put on, and you can see I've still got some roasts here going for the other dish that I'm working on. So I'm just going to put these backstrap or tenderloin right here along the middle of the smoker, right alongside where the other roasts are at, and then get it shut up. I'll come up out here probably in a couple of hours, I'll get a probe in it so that I can keep an eye on what that internal temp is. And then once they're finished here, that's pretty much all we're going to do. We'll get them inside and slice them up and take a look at how they turned out. Okay, our tenderloin has hit about 135, maybe 136 degrees internal temp. The other one was just slightly ahead of the one that I had the temperature probe in. So I'm gonna call it good there. I don't wanna overcook them. I wanna let these rest for a little bit, let some of those juices settle out. So we're gonna go ahead and pull them off of the smoker here. I've already taken the temperature probe out. So again, like I've done with other videos, if you've watched, especially the one I just did recently with the deer roast and brisket, different things like that, we're just gonna put these on a sheet of aluminum foil and then wrap it up. I have a second sheet here that I'm going to use as well, just to get a good seal on this thing. And then we're going to use our towel method, which if you watched other videos, you know what we do here. We wrap these up in a towel, and I've kept things warm for literally hours and hours. We wrap it up in the foil, then in the towel, and then we've got a cooler down here. It's our meat cooler, and we're just going to drop these in the cooler and let them hang out for, I don't know, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, something like that, and then we'll get sliced into it and let you take a look at what we came up with. Okay, so we've had our tenderloin resting for probably about 40 minutes now. We're gonna go ahead and slice into it and take a look at what we've got. So again, as I cut into this thing, just remember we just used some salt, pepper, garlic, and a jalapeno seasoning. And it's slicing very well, so I'll get another one here. And then we'll just get these over here to where you can hopefully see it. And it is not overly done. You can see a little bit of a smoke ring around this thing, so it feels good cutting into it. Again, I've said it before, that pitmaster privilege. If you're running the pit, you get the chance to take the first bite. So we'll take a bite here and see how this turned out. Very tender. The seasoning is not overpowering. Got a little bit of an after bite there to it. So that's kind of nice if you're looking for that jalapeno, kind of after you've already tasted it. So I think it's a success. Don't want to go too long on these things, especially considering the size of them. You don't want to dry them out. These are really good. So hopefully if you're a deer eater and you're looking for a different way to cook some venison, I'd say give this a shot. So hope you learned something. Again, just a common man answering some very common questions.
Here you go. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed and maybe even learned a little something. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a question about something, make sure to leave us a comment down below. We'll see if this common man can answer your very common question. Here you go.